I'm so excited to talk to you this new week. And I've brought you again the BRR show, the Business Relationship and Real Life Issues show. I have an amazing guest in the house today, and that is Dr. Ifunanya Igweze. She is the CEO founder of Pregify, and this woman is very passionate about pregnancy, about the girl child, and so many other stuff that she will be telling us about today. Hello.
Hello,
Good
Joki.
to have you on the show.
Thank you.
I hope it wasn't difficult to get to the
No,
studio.
not at all.
Okay, you look fresh. Fresh and fly. Okay, so I know you are very passionate about the girl child, about women. Tell us, how did it start? Is it from when you were 5 years old? You just said, I want to, do these things.
No, not really when I was 5 years old, but I know that as far back as 2017, okay, I think my defining moment was 2017.
Yeah.
I was in fifth year or fourth year medical school, and there was this program that came up that we had to go to Abuja for a training, and it was a paid training. And I asked myself, this thing, it's medical students that are going for it. Let me go.
Okay.
So I paid, I think we paid 7,000 naira, then we paid for transportation, and then we got to Abuja. It was organized by International Federation of Medical Students, and they were asking us, okay, so which of the trainings are you going for? And I was like, okay, let me go for reproductive health.
Okay, so there were specific trainings.
Yes.
Okay.
So it was at that training, I saw my trainers, they were medical students. And I asked myself, how? We're supposed to be reading in medical school. Where did they
Yeah.
acquire such knowledge about gender-based violence, sexual and reproductive
And they even
health?
train people.
And they are now training people. So I got curious and I actively participated in that program. That even when it was the trainee's turn to do presentation, I was one that presented my group.
Wow.
And when I came back from that training, I told myself, if now you need to step up. And I got some people in my school and shared my experience with them. And we started the peer education trainers club in the
Okay.
school. And
You were still a student at the
yes,
time.
I was in fifth year. Exactly, I was in fifth year. And within that fifth year to sixth year that I'll graduate, we were able to establish the club, organized the biggest international day of the girl child in Anambra State,
Oh.
did World Else Day by the December before we graduated, and we really pulled it
Wow.
off. So from there, my interest grew, and in 2018, I went for another training in Rwanda. It was a paid training.
Oh, you traveled out of Rwanda.
Yeah, so we stayed in Kigali for 3 weeks. We were undergoing serial trainings on gender-based violence, sexual health of women, LGBT. You know, they'll take you through all of them.
Liquid gender.
Yes. So they took us through all of them. We visited a lot of organizations, and when I came back, because I had graduated, I've left the school, I needed somewhere to also stand to continue my advocacy.
Sorry.
To continue my advocacy, so I established my NGO,
Okay.
non-governmental Live Mother and Child Initiative. I got volunteers and we started in Anambra State. So what we do is that we identify schools and then we train the girls, not just on sexual and reproductive health aspect. We usually go with entrepreneurs to teach them skills and
While you're still in school.
yeah, when they're still in secondary school. And then we also go to villages. When I when I talk about villages,
The
it's not
remote ones.
yeah, yes, it's not like the village I come from where it's almost like a town.
Where you have electricity.
Yes, the ones we go to is not motorable. And there's one experience I'll never forget. That it was August 9, 2019. I was doing my house job then, and I had to organize the training for those women during the August meeting. So we went with feeding bottle, buckets, thermometer to just teach them hands-on,
Yeah.
to teach them, and it was worth it. And so I've since then I've been, talking on radio station. They invite me come and talk on women issues, and my interest keeps growing. I've engaged in other trainings until recently I had to, the NGO has to get funding, and since coronavirus, most organizations are no longer providing funding because they need to
Okay.
sustain themselves too. So ask myself, if we need to sustain this, we need to have something. And
that would be funding.
yes, that
the
was
NGO.
yeah. So I started working when I came into Lagos. I didn't live in Lagos. I started working when I relocated to Lagos State in 2020. It was during the coronavirus. I was pregnant too. I couldn't get a job. First, because I was pregnant. Nobody wants to employ a pregnant woman.
Okay, so before you go into that, let me just ask the question. You're the founder of Pregify.
Yes.
What inspired you to even start? I know what Pregify is about, but I'm sure my viewers don't know what it is, but it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
And it's a special place that is a special need that people don't really see in the society. Why did you start? Is it because you're a doctor?
No,
Okay.
obviously no. Being a doctor is just a background,
Okay.
of course. But what inspired me was the experience I had working in the hospital. Right from when I did my house job at Nnamdi University. You see women, they just come in, no knowledge. They have a lot of misconception about
Concerning
pregnancy.
pregnancy.
Yes, about pregnancy. And even when you, as a medical doctor, is trying to counsel them, they don't understand what you're saying. They rather prefer what they hear
Yeah.
outside.
And they're holding on to it.
And they're
What if it's
holding on
dangerous?
to it, yeah. So I thought it was peculiar to the East, maybe because people there, village and all. Then I came to Lagos and I got a job. And it was then I now had this close relationship with pregnant women. And in 2021, that was last year, something happened. I had this client. Anytime she comes to the clinic, you rarely see her. But any day she comes, before you can even scan the baby or do anything, she has answered 100 calls.
Wow.
So she's not paying
And
attention.
she's pregnant.
She's pregnant. She's controlling truck from here to here. She's controlling business. Why she's just 1 hour or even 30 minutes she doesn't have. Okay, and one day I called her, madam, don't you care about yourself and your baby? She was like, is the baby going to pay for the hospital bill? Is the baby going to, don't I know that this time is money? And then I had another experience, a client, we lost her baby while the baby was still in the womb because she was not coming to the hospital.
But she registered with you guys.
She registered, thank you. She registered, but she was not coming. So she's busy. She'll tell me, okay, next time I'll come, next time I'll come. And that was what she kept doing. She had hypertension, her BP rose, and she didn't know about it. Then it got complicated. She had preeclampsia. And she didn't still come. By the time she came, her placenta has detached. I had what we call a brochure placenta. The placenta had detached and she was now bleeding. That was what brought her to the hospital.
It had
We
gotten
lost
to the top part of the problem.
Yeah, so we lost the baby and it was at 38 weeks. Almost done.
Almost.
Yeah,
giving
so
birth.
we lost the pregnancy and saved her life. So when I analyzed all this, I told myself, is there no way I could help these women?
Because some of these things are avoidable.
Yeah, it's avoidable. It's a question of knowledge gap. It's knowledge gap. So when in December, towards the end of 2021, I also had my own fair share. I got pregnant and my pregnancy was threatened, what we call threatened miscarriage, and I was supposed to go and leave normally.
You were working when you got pregnant?
Yes, I was working. That was October 2021. Last year. So normally in the hospital, if a woman comes down with threatened miscarriage, you give her off. So you have to write to the company to give her off so she can rest. But I was the doctor. I was working in the hospital. I couldn't get that.
Did you apply or you didn't get
I applied. Mandy told me, the irony of these things is that you as a doctor, all these people you are seeing now, they will not know you're having the same problem with them and you're turning to them. Me, I was like,
what are you saying?
So I eventually lost the pregnancy and I had to, yes, thank you. So I had to resign. I told myself,
at that point,
it doesn't worth it. Yeah.
Enough is enough.
So I told myself, even if I had to work, let me go and look for another job that is also flexible and closer to me. It's not good to be running around, the distance and the road. Because even sometimes when we close from the hospital, the bad road, if it rains, you're going to trek from like a very far distance
Before
before you
you can
get
find
here
the vehicle.
vehicle. So it was not worth it, so I resigned. But when I resigned, something happened. I didn't get a job. There were jobs, there were hospitals calling me. They were my friends that knew that I was resigned. So they sent my numbers to some hospitals. Some MDs within where I live
Based on
called me.
relationship.
Yeah, called
Okay.
me. Okay, we were looking for recommendations. Someone recommended you. I'm like, okay, Oga, just give me time. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I want to think about my life. So it was that January 2022 was a defining moment for me. I took my time to read books, meditate, and I had this inspiration of starting Pregify, and that was a defining moment for me. So when I was doing my meditation, I asked myself, question, this is a problem. Where can I help? So if women are busy with work and their business and they're not able to go to the hospital to sit down and listen to teachings, is there not something we can do for
And
them?
they still want to raise babies.
And they still want to have a
babies.
family.
Yeah.
So I told myself, what if I start an online digital antenatal class for women where they can access this information on the go without having to spend time in the hospital? And it was a good idea. So because antenatal is not, we have routine, we have focus.
Okay.
So if it's a low risk or high risk issue, you can actually focus it. The woman doesn't necessarily need to come to the hospital like every other person, but they need that information that they are missing. So if you can surface the information, like in my antenatal group, when we started, a lot of women, like there's a woman that lost her pregnancy because of diarrhea, stooling and vomiting. She didn't tell me, she didn't tell her doctor where she booked.
And she's on your group.
And she was in the group and she was booked. She didn't know that vomiting and stooling can induce, can cause intrauterine death or a miscarriage. And she was up to 36 weeks. So she lost that pregnancy. It was after she lost the pregnancy that she now came to me and told me about it. And I had to start massive teaching in the group.
Awareness
yes,
of that particular
yes,
diarrhea.
on diarrhea in pregnancy. I even made free contents on TikTok. I made free contents on Facebook.
And how was the response when you eventually started creating awareness?
When I started creating awareness, people were like, if you go to my TikTok, that video was top, even when I was still getting low views.
These are challenges people have been having, but they just kept quiet about it.
Because they don't know the implication.
Exactly, the consequences of their actions.
And right now, even once you come out and say you have diarrhea, all of them will chorus,
do you have
ORS? Do you have this? So they are now aware that this is a danger and they can actually take care of it.
Okay. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll keep talking to Dr. Ifunanya. Don't go away. Life is not always perfect. Like a road, it has many bends, ups and downs, but therein lies its beauty. The BRR show is the business, relationship, and real-life issue show. We will be giving entrepreneurs and business owners the opportunity to learn more about business and be good in their businesses. And of course, we'll be giving tips on relationships and how to manage real-life issues on the show. Join us every week on TLIJ Africa TV as we bring you amazing episodes. For adverts and sponsorship, please call the numbers on your screen. Thank you. Welcome back from that short break. You're still watching the BRR show on TLIJ Africa TV, and I have been talking to the beautiful and amazing Dr. Ifunanya. Okay, so you shared something with us about your personal experience when you lost your pregnancy, due to stress, of course. How did you feel as a doctor that you are, with the knowledge that you have? How did it make you feel?
Yeah, prior to the time I lost my pregnancy, I had a friend who had also lost her pregnancy, and I was consoling her, but I didn't actually feel the depth of the pain. It was when I lost my pregnancy, I was like, this is not something to joke with. And coupled with the fact that the factors surrounding the whole thing was something that could have been prevented, I really felt very bad, and I decided to quit my job.
That's how bad you felt. Okay, I know you wrote a book. That's how passionate you are about the pregnancy and mother's things. What? Tell us about the book.
Okay, so the book, actually, what inspired me to write the book was the death of my younger brother. Oh. So I lost my younger brother when he was, I think that was around 2000. year 2000. He was barely one or so.
Sorry about that. He
So
was that young.
yeah, he was that young. So he was stooling and vomiting the much I could remember. And they took him to the hospital. I remember they were giving him food through the nose and everything. Then I was still small. But I remember all those things. So when I entered medical school and found out, oh, it was vomiting and diarrhea that killed my brother. And those things were preventable. I still see women making the same mistakes while I'm still a student, and even when I graduate, I said no, someone needs to do something for them. Write something that can be handy. If it's the mother, the child, the nanny, the father, whoever that is in charge of the child, should be able to flip through something and have a guideline on what to do at every point in time. So that's how I put the book together.
And the title is
The First Time Mom.
Is it available to
Yes, it's available.
How affordable is the book?
It's just 5,000 naira.
Okay, just. I like that word, just. Okay, so we're going to talk about family planning. You know, there's this, is it myth, I'll call it, or misconception. People would say that family planning, maybe if you have a child and you probably just want to control for the meantime, maybe for financial reasons or even for your health, you know, they'll tell you when you are ready to have babies, you'll not be able to have again. Or family planning has scattered your whole womb. You're already in trouble. This one, that one. So you're a doctor, and this is your specialty. So tell us, is it true that when you do family planning, your womb is at risk of not producing ever again?
It's not true. It's actually a misconception.
Okay.
It's actually a misconception because not being able to conceive has a wide range of causes. And you know, in Africa, we like to pin it on something that is visible.
Quickly.
Yeah, something that is visible. So, and the one disadvantage of this is that instead of looking for solution, you spend time blaming something that is not actually the cause. I know women that have done family planning. Once they remove it, they are getting pregnant. And in fact, there was a woman I met. She told me this is the second time coming here that she has had the first baby, did family planning for 2 years. She removed it and she just put to bed. That's why she's doing another one.
Wow.
Another one. So family planning doesn't cause infertility or delayed. It can cause delayed conception, depending on the type of family planning that you use. Some of them, when you stop them, you have to give like 3 months,
because
6
the effect
months.
will still be in your system.
Yes, depending on your body too, the way your body is responding. There are some people that when they use the injectable, it may take like up to 6 months before they're able to return to be fertile. While some people, their body picks up faster, just like every other one too. So, but
so we respond
infertility
has nothing to do with family planning at all. Okay, all right. We're going to talk about breastfeeding. You know, there's this, I won't say, will I say myth again, that the children that are breastfed for like 1 year, let me put duration, would be more sensible or wiser or more intelligent than the ones that take baby food. How true is that? Because these things are what everybody believes. It's not like, not everybody, but majority of people actually say that. You hear them say, especially our mothers, like, no, you have to breastfeed your child till 1 year. If not, it will be acting like a cow because it's drinking cow milk and all that.
Okay, so I think the most crucial part is the exclusive breastfeeding. That's where the emphasis is. And it's true because I was exclusively breastfed. And I am bright, I am smart, and I'm intelligent. So I obviously think that is true.
Oh, really?
Yeah, breast milk is actually breast milk needs to be fed to everybody. I'm telling you the truth. The content of breast milk, there's no food that you are going to give to a baby that can suffice for the quality of breast milk. People are underplaying, they are underrating breast milk. Breast milk is so powerful. Like, okay, I had a client that delivered outside Nigeria recently, and yesterday a partner called me that people were suggesting some medications for them. He sent it to me. I was like, forget those things. So they were telling her the baby needs to be supplemented on vitamins and neighbors and family members. So he asked me, I said, don't worry about those things. Do you know the breast milk your wife is giving to your child contains an antibiotic that is superior to augmentin? It contains vitamins, macro, like, so you don't need any other things. And water, sometimes people say, we need to give the baby water. What if the baby is thirsty? No, the baby is not thirsty because breast milk contains water.
enough for the child.
It's not just, yes, that's what, enough for the child. So if the child is crying frequently, it's not an indication for you to give the child water. No. What you need to do is to reassess your breastfeeding technique. Because some people, when they put the baby to breast, baby do 5 minutes. This one is already dripping. They'll turn the baby to this side. So the baby is just taking full milk. That is just like water only. So by the time the
real
hard milk is
one
now coming out,
out,
they will say the baby has stayed sleeping.
the
And
baby is full.
yeah, they will not keep the baby. So when the water, the baby will need now. The baby will start crying again. Okay, so these are some of the things I addressed in my book, breastfeeding techniques, and then there's nothing that I need to be honest.
Yes.
Women are busy. And breastfeeding is a job.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. So in chapter 2 of my book, I actually address this. Breastfeeding is a job. It's a job. So you shouldn't even blame anybody. So they want to do fast and go. If you're working remotely, you want to go and work or you want to go and rest, and they don't have that patience to
wait
do
and do it appropriately.
But the good thing is that we have breast pumps now.
Yes.
So you can wake up early in the morning,
pump
bread that you need for the order, and then refrigerate it, because breast milk can stay, even if there is no, can stay for 4 hours after after you express it. It can stay on the shelf for 4 hours. It can stay in the fridge for 24 hours, and if you have constant power supply, it can stay in the freezer for 6 months.
Wow.
So it don't necessarily need to be the one breastfeeding baby. That's why we are bringing in Post-Birth Academy now to train men, most especially, on how to take care of babies, so they can ease off this stress and burdens
from their wives.
Partners.
Wow. So men can actually be part of it.
Yeah, men can be part of it. When I gave birth to a son, I didn't use a breast pump because I was basically at home. Okay. So I always breastfeed. But you see that once I finish breastfeeding, especially at night, he will tell me, bring the baby. So he will carry the baby, because after breastfeeding, you need to carry the baby for some time to belch, and so the baby will not aspirate. So immediately he saw that, okay, I finished breastfeeding, tell me, bring the baby, he will carry me and tell me, just don't go and sleep. So that kind of support gives you this sense of you are not alone on this journey. And that's what every woman should actually
helps us mentally. Okay, all right. Guys, we're going to go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue talking. Life is not always perfect. Like a road, it has many bends, ups and downs, but therein lies its beauty. The BRR show is the business, relationship, and real-life issue show. We will be giving entrepreneurs and business owners the opportunity to learn more about business and be good in their businesses. And of course, we'll be giving tips on relationships and how to manage real-life issues on the show. Join us every week on TLIJ Africa TV as we bring you amazing episodes. For adverts and sponsorship, please call the numbers on your screen. Thank you. Welcome back from that short break. I'm still talking to the most beautiful doctor I've ever seen, Dr. Ifunanya. And this is your book.
Yes.
The First Time Mom. Yes. And you're on it with your son.
Yeah, this was our 6 months.
Your handsome son. What's his name?
Ifechukwu.
Ifunanya Ifechukwu. I see what you did there. Okay, so you cited an example of a woman that was so busy, always making calls, and she didn't even have time to check her baby, do the right things you do when you go for antenatal and all that. You had to resign to focus on your pregnancy.
Not really. I've already lost the pregnancy.
Okay, at the time. But when you got pregnant the second time, were you working?
I was working.
When you had him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was working. Okay, when I had him, when I was pregnant for him, I was in the Southeast.
Okay.
So when I relocated to Lagos, it was 2020 and the
Lockdown.
Pandemic started. Yeah. And number one, I was pregnant. It's difficult to get a job as a pregnant woman in Nigeria. Okay, so you were still willing to work, but you wanted a flexible job. Yes, I was willing to work. I wanted a flexible job. Okay. Secondly, because of the pandemic, I became paranoid. I'm asthmatic. Oh. First risk factor, I was pregnant. Second, I didn't want to risk it. So I decided to stay at home. Okay. And you have a supportive husband. My mother is very supportive. Exactly. So it's not that easy. It's because you have a supportive husband. Yes, it's not everybody. My mother is very supportive. He's very supportive. Okay, I know, like I said, you're passionate about the girl child. What would you like to say to parents that don't know how to talk to their children about
you know, sexual conversations and all
That sexuality conversation is a difficult one because most parents, because it's responsible of both men and women,
that? Okay.
they don't even have the information. So, and you can't
They
give
don't
what
even
you
know
don't
what to
have.
say. So it's better they avoid it totally,
Yes,
and
yes,
it's dangerous to avoid
yes.
it.
So they don't know what. Not like some of them they want to teach, but they don't know what to do. So what we are actually doing now, we are setting up an academy,
Exactly.
a teen hub for teenagers. So this academy is going to house sexuality education courses where parents can enroll their children, go through these courses with their children. Then along the line, we'll be giving them prompts on what to discuss and what to talk about. And it's not going to end there. We're also going to enroll these kids that are now as part of us into a hub where they can discuss about this. As when they hear something in school and they're not sure, they come to the group. It's a safe space, talk
And
about
then
it,
post
and
a
then
question,
yes, we
you get an
answer
answer.
it, and we can from time to time organize gatherings, conventions, seminars for them live.
Yeah, you said Pregify is like a platform and all that. Is it paid? Is it free? Can I just say, oh, I'm 2 weeks pregnant. I want to join your group.
Now, Pregify is actually the a health tech company
Okay.
housing so many
Many other,
services and
okay.
products, and one of them is the Pregify pregnancy support group that
Yes.
you are talking about.
Yes.
We still have Pregify Academy, where we're going to have the post-birth hub for
Okay.
men and women that wants to learn about how to take care of a baby
Children, yeah.
after the baby is born. Then we're going to have the Teen Academy for Sexuality Education. And then there are other projects
That
that are
are
still coming
coming.
up.
All right, all right. So you're going to look into your camera, and tell us if there's any woman that is watching something, one information you would like them to have. So you look into the camera and you tell them.
Okay, so if you are listening to me, one thing I want you to know is that pregnancy should never occur to you by accident.
Exactly.
You should be able to plan yourself. Like in my preconception class, I always tell them, have you thought about yourself, your career plan, your length, short-term goal, mid-term goal, long-term goal, to be able to know, okay, if I get pregnant today, is it going to fit in? Because all these things are going to impact the way you feel in pregnancy. What if you have complications? Who is going to be there for you? You have to factor all these things in. So pregnancy is something that you should plan for. You are married, enjoy your partner, fund the companionship, but pregnancy, plan it so that you have a similar journey, even if it's challenging, you have enough support, and then you'll be able to go through it with enough information.
So how
Thank you.
can they be part of your pregnancy group support group?
Okay, so you can, if you want to, you are pregnant, you obviously need a community where you can share your feelings with other women who understands your journey and also have access to a medical professional 247. So if you want to join a pregnancy support group, you can email us on Pregify, Preggify, Pregify at gmail.com, or you can send us a WhatsApp message on 070-615-72698, and we'll take it off from there.
All right, guys. Thank you for being a part of today's BRR show. I have been talking to amazing Dr. Ifunanya, and I'm sure you've learned so many things today. All right, so same time next week, join us on the BRR show as we bring you amazing tips on business, relationship, and real life issues. Thank you, guys. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at TLIG Africa TV and follow me on Instagram at JK_OAP. See you next week. Bye bye.